I hurriedly intercepted it with explosive bombs, but due to the overwhelming number of missiles, it couldn't be destroyed all at once. Ultimately, I was hit by several missiles and fell backward. Deathlark couldn't dodge in time and was also blown away. Only Wolverine managed to shatter the remaining missiles with his gold slash. This silly husky's swordsmanship is indeed not bad. Envy sneered. Unfortunately, if it's made of metal, it has to obey me. With that, she aimed her metal controlling abilities at Wolverine. Feeling the ominous force, Wolverine sensed trouble the next second as a terrifying suction force tried to pull his blade away. Wolverine quickly gripped his blade tightly, not letting go. Seeing this, I thought, what is happening to Wolf Brother? She's a super metal type psychic. That's magnetism. Thinking quickly, I warned Wolverine, Wolf Brother, she can manipulate all metals. Let go of your blade right now. But Wolverine stubbornly said, this is the relic my master left me. Even if it kills me, I won't let go. Hearing this, Envy smirked, stupid husky, then die with your sword. With that, she fired several missiles at Wolverine. Just as the missiles were about to hit Wolverine, a huge splash erupted from the sea, and I swiftly appeared in front of him, using my body to block the missile attack. Stupid wolf, do you want to get us all killed over a damn sword? Deathlark roared. At this time, the human psychics on the battleship, seeing Envy overwhelmingly dominating the three monsters, were thrilled. Meanwhile, the Elder on another lifeboat scoffed disdainfully at the scene. Don't you see, it's clear Envy can't kill these monsters quickly, so we should make a concerted effort to assist Lady Envy and together defeat these monsters. How about that? The Elder suggested. Hearing this, the psychics were shocked. That's a fight between gods. What can we do if we go? Those giants could wipe us out in one move. If we go, we might even upset Lady Envy. Hearing this, the Elder snorted. A bunch of cowards. The Lester family has wasted its time raising you. The family head has been killed, and as members of the Lester family, how can we stand by and wait for others to avenge us? Saying this, he gathered electrical energy all over his body and launched a lightning attack directly aiming at me. I'll take advantage of your illness to take your life. Monster, I'll take your head. Watching the sky fill with lightning coming towards me, I quickly leaped back to dodge, but the next second I was still struck by the lightning, sending a smell of cooked meat wafting through the air. Holy crap, forgot I was in the sea. There's no escaping this attack. Just then, I turned my head and noticed that Envy was also in bad shape, her body scorched black by electricity. I almost forgot you're in the sea too. Looks like the old man got you too, I teased while laughing. Hearing this, Envy angrily glared at the Elder and his group, gritting her teeth. A bunch of good-for-nothing fools. Go to hell. With that, she fired several missiles at the lifeboats. Seeing this, the psychics panicked. Envy is short-circuited from the shock. She's attacking her own people again. I told you that would piss off Lady Envy. Someone yelled, stop blabbering and run. With a loud boom, the lifeboats were instantly blown to smithereens. This mechanical woman is freaking out again. Good, let her kill all these guys. Saves us the trouble. At that moment, Wolverine approached me and urgently said, look, her shield seems weaker now. It's a good chance to attack her. Hearing this, I immediately got excited. Since she's vulnerable to electricity, this move will definitely work. With that, I used my Dragon Supreme Power and Thorn Thunder Spike, charging at Envy. Envy saw this and snorted. Trying a sneak attack, she hurriedly controlled the Elder's lifeboat, violently throwing it at me and his group, hitting the Elder and other inept teammates. With Wolverine's blade slicing through, several psychics were effortlessly disemboweled. On the other side, I easily killed the remaining few, and the Elder was impaled through the stomach by my dorsal fin. To his death, the Elder, who had played with electricity all his life, never thought he would end up electrocuted. After clearing out these trash, I coldly looked at Envy. Didn't expect this damned mechanical woman to react so quickly. Meanwhile, inside Envy, Ancient Ape was still furiously damaging the interior. With a loud bang, a patch of the metal skin was finally breached, exposing the circuitry inside. It's smoking. Looks like my smashing is working. Ancient Ape excitedly shouted, her eyes glowing red as she began to limber up. Watch me tear this room apart even more. She then went on a rampage, tearing at the metal sheets, and as she continued to destroy, Envy suddenly felt a sharp pain in her stomach. Could there still be crew members inside my stomach? These idiots, daring to defy me. Hearing Envy talking to herself, I was baffled. What is this mechanical lady on about? How can she be so dramatic? While I was puzzled, Wolverine rushed forward, shouting, Lin Shen, her shield is almost gone. Strike now with full force. With that, he unleashed his star slash at Envy, who instinctively blocked with her arm, but was immediately sliced through by Wolverine, causing oil to spray wildly. Well done, Wolf Brother. Watch me disable her other arm. Just then, Envy suddenly clutched her stomach and bent over in apparent pain. The next second, she vomited out a large number of parts along with Ancient Ape. I finally got out. Ancient Ape exclaimed excitedly. I looked at her in surprise. When did Ape's sister crawl into the mechanical lady's stomach? Was that why the mechanical lady was in so much pain just now? Impressive. Truly worthy of being my descendant. After Envy realized it was Ancient Ape causing trouble inside her, she was enraged and swung her sword at Ancient Ape. It's you again, you damned monkey. Die. At a critical moment, I quickly lifted Ancient Ape up, causing Envy's attack to miss. Ancient Ape, seeing the transformed warship, was astonished. Was that thing the warship just now? How did it turn into a human form. Saying so, Ancient Ape jumped off me, swiftly transforming into her monster form, and pounced on Envy. No matter if you are a warship or something else, anyone who dares to attack Abyss Island will be flattened. With a boom, Ancient Ape punched Envy in the face, knocking out her front teeth. Ancient Ape then pinned Envy to the ground and began pummeling her relentlessly, making loud thumping noises as she hit, rendering Envy unable to fight back. Damn monkey, you just stepped on my face, and now you're riding on me. Get off! Envy yelled as she abruptly stood up, throwing Ancient Ape off before swinging her sword to bisect her. Just then, Deathlark swiftly grabbed Ancient Ape by the shoulder and flew up into the air. Envy, seeing her attack miss again, gritted her teeth in anger. Jets appeared behind her, chasing after Ancient Ape and Deathlark in the air. Trying to escape? You all go to hell. However, as she spoke, Wolverine flew in from the other side, unleashing his strongest move, Star Slash. Envy, seeing the situation was dire, quickly crossed her sword in front of her chest to block the attack. But with a bang, the Envy's sword instantly shattered, and she was thrown backward. After stabilizing herself, a wound appeared on her chest, crackling with electric sparks. Seeing this, Envy threw away her giant sword in rage and roared, "Damn husky, how dare you hurt me? I'll cripple you first." Saying this, she activated her ability Metal Manipulation again, trying to control Wolverine. However, Wolverine realized she was using her ability and cleverly used her momentum to his advantage instead of resisting. Wolverine snorted coldly and lunged at Envy, instantly transforming into a massive wolf form. Seeing this, Envy was shocked, and the human psychics were incredulous. This is already the fourth beast. Could Lady Envy be losing? With a crack, Wolverine bit into Envy's arm and wouldn't let go no matter how she flailed. At that moment, I seized the opportunity and struck Envy with my dragon fin, chopping off her arm with a boom. She took the chance to break free from Wolverine and hurriedly flew up into the air. Watching her severed arm still sparking, Envy was uncontrollably furious. "You damn creatures, I'll make you pay a painful price." The next second, several missiles were launched towards Abyss Island. "You despicable creatures, just watch as Abyss Island is destroyed." Envy laughed maniacally. Seeing the missiles headed for Abyss Island, I panicked and quickly gathered my burst breath, preparing to shoot down the missiles. However, just then, Envy suddenly appeared in front of me. "You thick-skinned stinky lizard, you are fooled. Your mouth must be your weak point, right?" With that, she fired a missile directly at my mouth. The missile collided with the unlaunched burst breath, detonating instantly and knocking me unconscious, causing me to plunge into the sea with a splash. "How do you like the mother of bombs I fed you?" Envy sneered triumphantly. Seeing this, Wolverine and Deathlark screamed my name in concern. Just then, Envy used her metal manipulation again, causing the missiles originally headed for Abyss Island to turn back and fly towards Wolverine and the others. Then, the missiles headed straight for Ancient Ape, Deathlark, and Wolverine. Wolverine quickly warned Ancient Ape and Deathlark to be careful, but before he could finish, they were hit by the missiles, and he was engulfed in the explosion. In just a blink of an eye, the situation dramatically reversed, and Godzilla's assault squad was all knocked unconscious, plunging into the sea. "Madness, madness." Godzilla went berserk just to defeat Envy, the psychics exclaimed. He even risked exploding from within, swallowing a nuclear bomb on purpose. Seeing this, the human psychics raised their arms and shouted, "Lady Envy truly deserves to be the elder of the Nether Sin Palace. She managed to turn defeat into victory, wiping out those giants." Meanwhile, in the deep sea, the unconscious Godzilla was sinking towards the ocean floor. Just then, the system suddenly notified, non-living energy sources detected inside the host, devouring skill upgraded, beginning to devour. Soon, the devouring skill had completely absorbed the non-living energy sources and converted them into life essence, beginning to heal my body. As my body was enveloped in a burst of light, I suddenly opened my eyes wide. I couldn't believe my body. I just swallowed a missile. How could I be unharmed? "Little Kuin, what exactly is going on here?" Little Kuin disdainfully responded, "Just a missile. What's so surprising? You're the one who bathes in magma and massages with missiles. You've been fighting monsters on Abyss Island and haven't been exposed to human high-tech weapons, so your ability to devour non-living energy sources wasn't activated. Speaking of which, you should thank that female Gundam. It was she who fed you the missile that activated this ability. Now, not only can you devour the life essence of giants and humans, but you can also absorb non-living energy sources, and you can also absorb thermal energy, geothermal energy, electrical energy, light energy, and even nuclear energy." Hearing this, I immediately became excited. "Are you saying I can continue to bathe in magma and get massaged by missiles?" Just then, I looked up to find Ancient Ape unconscious, falling into the sea. I quickly swam towards her. Seeing Ancient Ape's injuries, Little Kun explained, "Looking at the injuries, she seems to have been hit by a missile too, but she doesn't have your self-healing abilities." I looked up again to find Deathlark and Wolverine also unconscious. "Damn it, Envy, I'm going to destroy you," I said angrily, dragging Ancient Ape, Deathlark, and Wolverine towards the surface. Meanwhile, Envy on the surface was using her abilities to repair her body. Soon, her severed arm grew back, daring to oppose me. "Just a bunch of stupid monsters," she muttered to herself. But as she finished speaking, the water ahead suddenly exploded. Sure enough, it was me returning with Ancient Ape and the others. Seeing this, Envy Envy was shocked, swallowed 50 tons of TNT, and nothing happened. What kind of monster are you? However, when she saw Ancient Ape and the others transform back into human form, she calmed down. Just now, the four of you couldn't beat me, and now you are utterly depleted. Alone, what can you do against me? Since 50 tons weren't enough, this time, I'm going to give you a 1,000-ton micro nuke. If you dodge it, Abyss Island behind you will be completely destroyed. I'd like to see if you can survive this time. Seeing this, I turned to Deathlark and asked, what should we do? Bird sister, can you still transform? Yes, I can. What are you planning? Also, what does she mean by a micro nuke? Deathlark responded, puzzled. Don't ask so much now. Just transform and take Ape sister and Wolf brother as far away as you can. Recognizing the severity of the situation, Deathlark warned, Lin Shen, be careful. Then, she transformed and took Ancient Ape and Wolverine into the sky. Just then, Envy fired the micro nuke at me. This damn crazy woman, she's actually serious. I cursed internally. Little Kun, you just said I can absorb nuclear energy. Can I absorb this nuclear bomb? Your skill has just activated, and it might not fully handle such a powerful energy. It could be fatal, Little Kun replied. After a moment of thought, I gritted my teeth. Such a powerful bomb. Even if I destroy it with my burst breath, the shockwave will still affect Abyss Island. My friends are there. Even if I can't absorb it, I must try. If it kills me, so be it. I am now a rampaging beast of heaven and earth. What do I have to fear? With that, I grabbed the nuclear bomb and headed it straight to my mouth, then plunged into the water, swallowing the bomb as I dove into the deep sea. Soon, a blinding light flashed on the surface, followed by a huge splash that soared thousands of meters high. Seeing this, Deathlark yelled out Lin Shen's name in concern. Meanwhile, in the distance, the human psychics were fleeing in terror, shouting, holy crap, that monster actually swallowed a nuclear bomb and detonated it underwater. That kind of power must have blown him to pieces, the humans exclaimed in shock. At the same time, the explosion shockwave pushed me deeper into the seabed. Non-living energy detected in the host's body, beginning to absorb. The system suddenly alerted as my body hit the seabed. Warning, the non-living energy is too powerful and cannot be fully absorbed. The host is at risk of exploding. As the system repeatedly issued warnings, my body began to glow brightly, on the verge of exploding. With the system continuously issuing warnings, my body began to expand like a balloon. Am I really going to blow up here? I'm still so young. I can't just die like this. Damn it, it's all that crazy woman's fault. Even if I die, she won't spare Abyss Island or Ape Sister and the others. Screw it. If I'm going to explode, I'll take that crazy woman down with me. With that, I propelled myself toward the surface. But just then, Little Kun appeared in front of me. I'm such a genius. I've just adjusted your system. Now you can release the energy that you can't absorb. That way, you won't explode. I was relieved and quickly asked how to release the energy. Little Kun explained, the strongest attack you currently have is your burst breath. You can use it to release the excess energy. Hearing this, I immediately began to gather energy for burst breath. Yes, just like that. But this time, you need to channel all the energy in your body into your mouth. Alright, I'll return the favor and blast that crazy woman with her own energy. I growled through gritted teeth. Meanwhile, Deathlark was still hovering in the air, staring at the ocean surface, unwilling to leave. Just then, Ancient Ape and Wolverine woke up from their unconscious states. Ancient Ape looked around frantically and, not seeing me, asked anxiously, Bird sister, where's Dragon brother? Why can't I see him? Deathlark responded, Lin Shen, to save us in Abyss Island. He swallowed the nuclear bomb that Envy fired. Then he detonated it underwater, and I'm afraid he's. Hearing this, Ancient Ape immediately struggled to break free. Dragon brother can't die that easily. Spirit Bird sister, let me go. I'm going to kill that damn woman. Though her heart ached, Deathlark held on tightly. Lin Shen specifically asked me to take you all to safety before swallowing the bomb. Do you want a sacrifice to be in vain? Just then, Wolverine suddenly radiated golden light and said coldly, with Lin Shen dead, is there any safe place left on Abyss Island? After speaking, he transformed into a giant wolf form, broke free from Deathlark's grasp, and lunged at Envy. At the same time, Ancient Ape also transformed and broke free from Deathlark, roaring, I must avenge Dragon brother. Even if I am smashed to pieces, I will explode her. Seeing this, Deathlark dived down without hesitation. If that's the case, I'll go crazy with you guys one last time. Even if we go to hell, the four of us can keep each other company. Envy, seeing the three giant beasts returning, immediately set up a cannon and scoffed, if you're all so eager to die, then I'll send you to reunite with that big lizard. However, just then, a huge red figure suddenly burst forth, blocking all attacks. It's Dragon brother. But why is Dragon brother turned into a big fat man? Ancient Ape exclaimed in surprise. Lin Shen's condition is very abnormal. It's like he's about to explode. Wolverine also noticed something was off. At this moment, I had already gathered all my energy in my mouth and roared, crazy woman, I'm now giving you back the nuclear bomb. Nuclear explosion breath. Instantly, a terrifying beam of energy shot towards Envy. She had no chance to react and was immediately hit by the nuclear blast, causing her body to start disintegrating instantly. Wolverine and Ancient Ape, witnessing this power, were shocked. How is Lin Shen's attack so powerful this time? As the red beam faded, Envy had already vanished without a trace. Seeing this, the human psychics were thrown into chaos, hastily fleeing by boat. After releasing all my energy, I, although drained, finally returned to my normal state. Seeing this, Wolverine and Ancient Ape quickly approached him. Thank goodness, I knew Dragon Brother wouldn't die so easily, Ancient Ape exclaimed excitedly, but the attack you just used doesn't seem like your old skills. With my current strength, I couldn't digest the energy of the nuclear bomb, so as I was about to burst, I desperately used my burst breath to release the indigestible energy. I didn't expect it to be so powerful. Wolverine nodded. Releasing the indigestible energy in your body through another skill is indeed a good method. Meanwhile, the human psychics were escaping in panic. While we were talking, Deathlark noticed the fleeing psychics and chased after them with her minions, shouting, "Those who offend Abyss Island, though far away, will be punished. Tear all these people to shreds." Numerous Dimorphodons dived from the sky, fiercely attacking the human psychics, fighting back vigorously. Those without abilities remained on the boat, supporting with long-range weapons. However, at that moment, one of them suddenly spotted a head surfacing from the sea, with eyes that turned to look directly at him. He was terrified, thinking he had seen a ghost. Such idiots. To think such a beautiful head like mine is a ghost? You don't deserve to be on my lifeboat. Get off, all of you. Envy sneered as she activated her ability, starting to absorb the surrounding metal. Lifeboats and weapons began to disintegrate, with metal flying towards her. Seeing this, the people realized that they were facing Envy, the elder of the Nether Sin Palace. They began to plead for their lives, but Envy ignored their pleas and instead increased the speed of metal absorption, with the lifeboats deforming and merging into her. Meanwhile, I said to Deathlark, "Bird sister, call back your minions. We promised Joji and Mugen not to harm ordinary people." Just then, Deathlark noticed something strange ahead. "Look, what is that? Are we filming a horror movie here? Just ahead left, and it's still so lively. Who on earth is this? She's dissolving and merging with metal. Could she be the woman Gundam from before? This must be her true form," I exclaimed in surprise. Anyone else would have been dead, but she's still alive. No matter how she survived, we can't let her escape this time. After saying that, I dived into the water and rushed towards her with Deathlark, watching my dorsal fin approaching rapidly like a small mountain. The psychics screamed in terror. "Oh God, the monsters are coming for us. We don't want to be swallowed by them and end up as their excrement. Envy, save us." But at that moment, Envy had already dissolved into a rocket, completely ignoring their fates. "You idiots, just stay here to become the monster's snacks." Envy laughed uproariously, activating her thrusters and accelerating into the sky. "Big lizard, try and catch me if you can." Seeing this, I immediately sped up to chase after her. The psychics floating on the sea were scattered. "Just a stupid big lizard. I'm now a 5 Mach rocket. You'll tire yourself to death trying to catch me." Envy shouted triumphantly, speeding away and disappearing into the horizon. I could only watch helplessly as she fled, burning with anger. "Can't catch me? Why does that sound so awkward? Damn it, she escaped in the end. That cunning Lolita brain." Subsequently, I and Ancient Ape looked down at the human psychics with displeasure. "Dragon Brother, how should we deal with these people?" Seeing the abilities, the human escapees began to plead desperately. "Great beast lords, spare us. We all have families to return to. Besides, it was that bastard Lester who deceived us into coming here. We had no idea this was your territory. Please let us go." Hearing this, I roared angrily at them. "Violate my Abyss Island and still expect mercy?" Just then, a voice called out, "Linshin, show mercy." I turned to look, and it was Mugen and Joji who had arrived. "Linshin, the main culprit is the Lester family. These people are insignificant. Just let them go." Hearing someone pleading for them, the psychics silently prayed, "Please, convince the beast." However, just then, someone recognized Joji, exclaiming, "Wasn't he with us on the battleship that came here? Could all this have been orchestrated by the Cafe's Heaven Force? Is Cafe looking to become enemies with the West?" Before they could finish speaking, they were forcefully silenced by their comrades. "Shut up, you fools. Our lives hang by their decision," one of the psychics whispered quietly. "Envy abandoned these people, thinking they were dead. Let me take them back to Cafe's Heaven Force, where our experts can hypnotize them to ensure they reveal nothing." Hearing this, I waved my hand in agreement. Now that Envy had fled, Abyss Island was sure to face greater peril. I was more concerned about consulting with Bai Sidong on how to tackle the coming challenges. Meanwhile, Joji mysteriously said, "I need to talk to you alone about something." So, Joji and I walked off to a more private spot. "Alright, we're alone now. What's so important that it needed such discretion? Thank you for keeping your promise earlier. As a reward, I'll tell you the location of the secret realm that Mugen spent half a year locating." Hearing this, I became excited. "Are you saying there's really a secret realm beneath Abyss Island? Tell me where it is." "The secret realm is located beneath the cave where you fought the king of the dead rotten reptiles." I had a hunch the secret realm was there, but there was no time to search before. The cave system is intricate with many branches, but Mugen has carefully marked the way. Just follow the markings, and you will soon see the entrance to the secret realm. Mugen has really thought of everything. Thanks. Then, I changed the topic. "Since you knew about the entrance, did you explore it?" Realizing what I meant, Joji laughed. "Rest assured, as I told you before, Cafe only claims unclaimed sanctuaries. Plus, sanctuaries are not that easily accessed. Some have entrances laden with traps, filled with dangers that could send you to your doom at a misstep. Others are sealed with mysterious formations that even massive explosions or human abilities cannot breach. Some are guarded by ancient and powerful beasts, demanding a hefty toll for passage. The secret realm under Abyss Island is isolated by an unknown mystical force that repels all external efforts, making it inaccessible. There have been humans who encountered such sanctuaries before. It took 3S level masters bombarding the protective energy barrier for half a month to just barely breach it. Hearing this, I looked dejected. 3S level masters took half a month, and here I am, nearly taken down by a 2S. Surely I'd be kicked out on my tail. All that excitement for nothing. At this, Joji suggested, maybe you could give it a try. I heard from Mugen that you absorbed the energy of the king of the dead rotten reptiles. The secret realm's energy barrier shouldn't reject you. I, overjoyed at the news, exclaimed, as long as I can enter the secret realm smoothly, I will always remember your kindness. If you ever need our help in the future, just ask. After this, I said I needed to clean up the battlefield, but was actually eager to explore the secret realm. When he returned, Mugen had crafted a vine ball using his abilities, and the surviving humans were gradually entering it. I approached to thank him. Thanks for all your hard work, Mugen. Mugen looked confused, thinking to himself, when did this kid start respecting his elders? Just then, little Kun popped up. Trouble. A group of sharks is coming to feed on the bodies of the psychics. If they clean up everything, I won't be able to refine life essence for you. Hearing that fish dared to steal my food, I was furious and plunged into the water. A splash soaked Ancient Ape and the others, leaving them confused. What's got Dragon Brother so rushed? Ancient Ape wondered while scratching her head. Who knows what that ugly dragon is up to now? Deathlark replied helplessly. Little Kun, how many bodies have those sharks eaten? If they finish them off, and I have to eat them afterward, it'd be disgusting. Don't worry, they just got here. They kept their distance during the fight, too scared to come close. Hearing this, I surged forward, a bunch of cowards rushing in to scavenge right after the fight. Think again. Meanwhile, the bodies of the psychics were sinking to the ocean floor, and a school of sharks was quickly approaching. Charge, brothers, it's feeding time. One shark opened its mouth to swallow a body, but suddenly sensed danger approaching. The next second, I rushed in and swallowed it whole. The group of sharks immediately stopped upon seeing this, all turning to look at me. You really can't go a few days without stirring up trouble. You've gotten cocky again while I was away. Suddenly, one of the sharks remembered a scene and exclaimed in terror, no good, it's that plague. And how has it grown so big? Brothers, run, the plague is back. In an instant, the group of sharks descended into chaos, turning around to flee. Seeing this, I opened his mouth and lunged at them. Trying to run? Get into my bowl. Under my frenzied predation, the seabed soon echoed with the cries for help of the sharks. Don't come over here. Help, fish slaughter. Before long, the floating bits of shark flesh and fresh blood stained the entire sea red. Could this guy have even devoured human corpses? Someone asked in horror. I don't know. He used to not eat humans, even burying the corpses, didn't he? The psychics hiding in the vine ball panicked at this scene. This is terrifying. That giant beast won't go crazy and eat us too, will it? Mom, I want to go home now. At this, Deathlark snorted coldly. The ugly dragon was seriously injured in the recent battle, so he must eat to replenish energy and heal his body. What's so surprising about that? Hearing this, Mugen and Joji looked at each other, unable to find a reason to argue, and fell silent. Just then, the water suddenly splashed, and I burst out. My eyes were bloodshot, and my body was enveloped by the blood-stained seawater, looking extremely terrifying. Seeing this, the psychics immediately huddled together in terror, crying out loud, Mom, help, a monster is going to eat us. At this moment, I am gritting my teeth and looking annoyed, thinking, after devouring the life essence of dozens of psychics, not a single skill burst out, only evolution points. As I looked down and saw everyone staring at me in horror, I roared at them, why are you looking at me with such a terrifying gaze? Do I look that scary? You wouldn't think I just devoured corpses in the sea, would you? After saying that, I spat out a few shark bones, adding discontentedly, I just took out a group of sharks that were about to steal human corpses and even dug a hole to bury the bodies at the bottom of the sea. Killing and burying, do you think I have it easy? Seeing the shark bones, people realized they had misunderstood me, but just then, I suddenly pointed at them and roared, Mugen, pack these guys up and take them away fast. I'm sick of seeing them now. So, after saying goodbye, Joji and Mugen left with the surviving humans from the waters around Abyss Island. At this time, Bird's sister said, Ugly Dragon, are you really just letting them go? I threw them 3 life fruits, explaining, envy has already fled. Killing these people would be pointless. Now, the priority is how to deal with the stronger enemies that are coming. You eat these life fruits first to recover your strength, and then I'll take you mining. Hearing this, Bird's sister and the others were baffled. Mining? Mine what? As I led them back to Abyss Island, I explained. Joji said that the secret realm of Abyss Island is inside the cave of the king of the dead rotten reptiles. I'm a miner now. Before long, inside the cave of the dead rotten reptiles, they found the entrance to the secret realm through the markers left by Mugen. Look, there's green liquid inside the screen, formed from the dead rotten reptiles. This proves they crawled out from here. Ape's sister stepped forward trying to pass through the light screen, but she couldn't get through no matter how hard she tried. The transparent purple light screen stood firm like a wall, immovable. Frustrated, Ape's sister smashed at at the light screen, but it only rippled, dissipating her force like water. Seeing this, I stepped forward to stop her. Ape sister, save your energy. This light screen repels all external forces. Upon hearing this, Deathlark yelled at me, ugly dragon, stop beating around the bush, just spit it out. Alright, now is the time to witness a miracle, and I directly put my hand through the light screen. Seeing this, Ancient Ape immediately looked up in admiration, while Deathlark said impatiently, stop showing off, just tell us. Because I previously devoured the life essence of the king of the dead rotten reptiles, I have energy in my body that is of the same origin as the light screen, so it doesn't repel me. Ancient Ape asked, puzzled, I also ate a lot of dead rotten reptiles with you. Why does the light screen still repel me? It might be because those dead rotten reptiles were transformed from the blood of the king of the dead rotten reptiles, so the energy in them is sparse. Although you've eaten a lot of crawlers, the energy in your body has not yet reached the level where it won't be repelled by the light screen. So, how exactly are we supposed to get in? I heard from Zhou that there are various strange giant beasts living in the secret realm, and since they live there, their bodies should contain life essences of the same origin as the secret realm. I plan to go hunt some of these beasts and bring them back. After you eat these beasts, you should be able to enter. Upon hearing there was food involved, Ancient Ape immediately got excited. Dragon brother, go quickly. We'll wait here for the meal. Thus, I entered the light screen and walked toward the depths of the secret realm. After a long downward extending cave, a ray of sunlight appeared at the end of the cave. I looked up and saw that this was an upward cave, with sunlight shining down from the cave top. It seemed that the secret realm was above, and there was still a long climb ahead. Let's climb up and see, I muttered, then jumped onto the cave wall and climbed up like a giant gecko. After climbing for quite a while, I was already gasping for breath. Just as I closed my eyes to rest for a moment, a black giant snake suddenly launched a sneak attack. By the time I heard the noise and opened my eyes, the giant snake was already in front of me. Without time to react, I was bitten on the arm by the giant snake and started falling downward. Damn, a snake with ears? What kind of freak is this? With a boom, my body heavily smashed onto the ground. I got up and looked up, only to discover that the attacker was an ancient giant snake, 93 meters long and 7 meters thick, and highly venomous. Could this creature be the guardian beast of the secret realm? But wasn't there already a purple light screen at the entrance of the secret realm? While I was pondering, a sharp pain came from my arm. Damn it, this guy's venom is really strong. My arm is numb and I can't use any strength. Just then, the ancient giant snake roared and lunged at me again. Seeing this, I sidestepped to dodge the attack and sneered, kid, my mouth is the real weapon. With that, I fiercely bit into the giant snake, tearing off a piece of flesh and sending the snake flying. With a bang, the giant snake heavily smashed into the cave wall opposite, but the next second, it sprang up and lunged at me again. Damn it, won't you ever stop? I instantly spat out several explosive rounds that bounced around the cave and successfully sent the ancient giant snake flying again. Narrow caves are my explosive rounds' home field. I snapped my fingers, and instantly, the explosive rounds burst around the giant snake. Suddenly, the giant snake screamed and heavily fell to the ground. However, as the dust settled, the giant snake stood unharmed in front of me. It didn't die. Seems this black scale armor is pretty tough. Just as I was preparing to attack again, the giant snake suddenly reared its head and took a deep breath, then spewed green venom at me. I quickly sidestepped to dodge the attack. Damn, you don't fight with honor, spitting anywhere. When I looked at the giant snake again, I found that it had taken the opportunity to flee while I was dodging. What a coward. Did you think that would stop me? Is this how you honor the title of a secret realm beast? After saying this, I fired an explosive breath at the giant snake. The snake hadn't even reacted before it was hit, the powerful force shooting straight through the entrance of the secret realm and up into the sky. The dazzling light instantly illuminated the entire secret realm, as if announcing the arrival of the overlord. Meanwhile, the creatures of the secret realm growled and approached from this direction. With a loud noise, the body of the giant snake was severed into two pieces, heavily falling to the ground. Seeing this, I picked up the tail of the giant snake and started gnawing on it, curious to see if devouring a secret realm beast would yield any good items. You have successfully devoured the ancient giant snake. Reward evolution points plus 130,000. Scale armor defense increased. Poison resistance increased. After consuming the entire giant snake, no new skills burst forth, only some increases in scale armor defense and poison resistance. However, with the increased poison resistance, my arm quickly recovered. I continued climbing upwards. After a while, I finally reached the surface. This is really tiring, but fortunately, there were no mishaps, and I've finally made it up. But when I looked up, I was instantly shocked by the scene before me. The secret realm turned out to be a red world, not only huge, but also having skies, mountains, and even forests. Is this some kind of underground secret realm? This is more like stepping into another world. However, just then, there was a noise behind me. A giant lizard emerged from the forest, its back even covered in fur. Holy crap, what the hell is this? A giant lizard with fur. Little Kun mocked. Was your biology teacher a PE teacher? Dinosaurs and birds are indeed related, and there really were such feathered intermediate stages in the long process of evolution. It seems that the space base of this secret realm is a prehistoric world, and this type of lizard is called an ancient feathered lizard. Not only do they have incredible biting power, but their saliva also contains toxins. Just then, the ancient feathered lizard let out an angry roar and charged at me. What's going on? Are these guys treating me as prey? I'm so big and tough, not afraid to knock out your teeth. Saying this, I swung my tail like a dragon, sending one of them flying, then immediately got to work, grabbing two others. However, just then, a shadow dived down quickly, leaving several claw marks on my face with a swish. I angrily turned my head. What's that in the sky? It turned out that several ancient creatures had joined the fight. Ancient pterosaurs, 18 meters long and weighing 18 tons, skilled in flight, with sharp and cunning claws. Ancient pygmy thief dragon, 15 meters long, weighing 15 tons, extremely fast in flight, and equally cunning. All feathered dinosaurs. Little Kuan, you really called it. This is a weird world that took a wrong turn in evolution. Saying this, I instantly devoured the ancient feathered lizard I was holding. Why do these different types of creatures only attack me? I'm several times bigger than them. Don't they know to avoid danger and seek benefits? Little Kuan responded, haven't you noticed that this place is filled with the same life essence as the king of the dead rotten reptiles, and it's very dense? You have this type of energy on you too, but it's very weak. I think they see you as an outsider and feel they must eliminate you. No sooner had Little Kuan finished speaking than the ancient pterosaur dived down again. So, these guys are bullying the newcomer, but no worries, I'm quick to adapt. With that, I stomped my foot, leapt up, and bit off the neck of one of the bird dragons, then charged into the herd, wreaking havoc. I'm going to show you who's the boss of Abyss Island. Even if this is the underground secret realm of Abyss Island, it's still my turf. To deal with you guys, I don't even need skills. This mouth of mine is enough to tear you all apart. Seeing my ferocity, the monsters immediately became frightened and started retreating. Just then, a beast emerged from the forest. I turned my head and saw a huge dinosaur with sharp scythe-like claws on its toes pounce towards me. So, the small ones couldn't handle it, and now they send in the big guns? Well, I'll start by making you bite the dust. Saying this, I charged at the dinosaur using my mighty dragon strike technique. However, the next second, the dinosaur suddenly disappeared from in front of me, using a slide to chop at me. Accompanied by a loud noise, my body was suddenly covered in blood, and my massive body fell to the ground face first, creating a mud-chewing scene as I slid several meters due to inertia. Damn, is this guy a soccer player or what? How can he slide tackle? It turned out that this dinosaur, equipped with scythe-like claws, was an ancient speed dragon, known for its speed and sharp, scythe-like toe claws. Speed dragon? And it's even wearing a down vest. Just then, the ancient speed dragon roared and charged at me again. I quickly turned around and spat out several explosive rounds, but the speed dragon easily dodged the attack with a slide tackle. This guy's speed is really something else. Saying this, I leapt high, dodged the speed dragon's attack, and landed firmly on the ground. Trying the same move on me again? Simply foolish. However, just as I finished speaking, a roar suddenly came from a distant hill. Damn, don't tell me another one. It turned out to be an ancient scythe dragon, 70 meters long and weighing 70 tons. It swung its claws, pouncing toward me. Damn it. Accompanied by a screeching sound, the scythe dragon's claws instantly slashed across my body, quickly adding several more wounds. Tasting success, the scythe dragon swung its scythe again and charged forward. I quickly spat out explosive rounds in retaliation, but the scythe dragon easily dodged with a lateral jump. Just as I had resolved the crisis and was about to breathe a sigh of relief, the speed dragon suddenly launched a sneak attack from behind. Accompanied by a bang, my massive body was instantly shoveled into the air, and then face planted into the ground, biting the dust under the force of inertia. It's simply unethical. They're so big and still 2 against 1. Caught off guard by the coordinated attack of the 3, I suddenly found himself struggling against 2 formidable foes. The 2 dinosaurs were incredibly fast, and my burst breath might not hit them, plus the area was too open for the explosive bombs to rebound and attack. I had to find a way to lure them into the forest, where my explosive rounds could bounce off the dense trees and be most effective, and where it would also be easier for me to dodge their attacks. Just then, the scythe dragon let out a roar and then flapped its wings, charging at me again. This dinosaur flapping like a rooster is just too ridiculous. But no sooner had I spoken than the speed dragon also leaped over. The 2 dinosaurs attacked from left and right, one with a ghostly hand and the other with a ghostly foot, as if they were shooting a martial arts film. Seeing this, Godzilla blocked while retreating into the forest. Soon, my dorsal fins hit a large tree, and I had finally made it into the woods. Now, it's my time to shine. Saying this, I ran deeper into the dense forest without looking back. The 2 dinosaurs, without hesitation, followed me in. Just as they were about to catch up with me, I suddenly turned around and spat numerous explosive rounds into the air. The 2 dinosaurs were instantly baffled. However, the next second, countless explosive bombs rebounded through the dense forest, instantly surrounding them at the center. Weren't you 2 quite happy chasing me just now? Now you're surrounded by me, I said as I snapped my fingers. With booming explosions, the speed dragon and the scythe dragon were instantly blasted away. I walked up to them with a look of annoyance. How do you like the taste of my explosive rounds? Just as the 2 dinosaurs struggled to get up and prepare to flee, Immediately, I opened my mouth and lunged at the speed dragon, just become my evolution points. However, the next second, the speed dragon suddenly unleashed a primal force, jumped onto a nearby tree, hooked its scythe-like toes firmly around the trunk, and began to spin wildly. As I looked baffled, the dinosaur suddenly lunged at me. Damn, what kind of maneuver is this? Making a sharp turn, biting my arm. Meanwhile, the other scythe dragon also swung its claws toward me. Several claw marks instantly appeared on my body. Enduring the pain, I grabbed the scythe dragon's two arms. The last enemy who dared to come close to me now is grass over its grave. After saying this, I activated my skill, Thunderous Thorn Spikes. In an instant, the speed dragon was impaled by my dorsal fins, and the scythe dragon was stunned by a powerful electric shock. While both dinosaurs were incapacitated, I gathered my explosive breath and directed it straight at the scythe dragon's head, which was obliterated in the blink of an eye. However, just as I turned to deal with the speed dragon, he found it escaping while roaring and starting to shake. The next second, countless secret realm monsters charged toward me. Damn, I thought you'd call some formidable beast, but it turns out they're just the little chicks I've previously thrashed. Perfect, I'll use you guys to test my new skill. I crouched to gather power, and immediately, electricity crackled over my body. With a bang, I unleashed the skill he acquired from killing Lester, the nuclear ion cannon. The moment the particle cannon hit the speed dragon, the electricity rapidly spread to the surroundings. In just an instant, the monsters were annihilated, and the speed dragon was burnt to a crisp on one side. I didn't expect this move could bounce and perform an area attack, but the prey got burnt to a crisp. I wonder if it's still edible. Muttering to myself, I went forward, tore off a piece of the speed dragon's flesh, and began chewing. You have successfully devoured the ancient speed dragon. Reward evolution points 230,000. You have successfully devoured the ancient speed dragon. Reward speed enhancement. All this for such measly rewards? Why not give me a big toe that can snake around? I then picked up the scythe dragon's corpse and began devouring it. However, the system's reward was still disappointing. Besides evolution points, only an increase in the sharpness of my claws. What the heck? All this effort and not a single good item. You're messing with me on purpose, aren't you, little Cohen? It's not the system's fault you're unlucky. Just then, I suddenly thought that according to the system's usual antics, changing maps could definitely yield good items. Damn system, I want to check in. Check in location, Abyss Island Underground Sanctuary, Scarlet Land. Check in reward, lava form, converts all internal energy into scorching magma, transforming into a lava giant as if crawled out from hell, but this form can only be used once a day and lasts only 60 seconds. Lava giant, what a powerful skill. Little Cohen, you do have some conscience. However, just then, the system's reward sound chimed again. You have successfully devoured the ancient scythe dragon, receiving a special reward, magma claws. In lava form, your claws become extremely hot, able to slice through the hardest materials instantly, as easily as a hot knife through butter. I just got the lava form and immediately burst out the corresponding skill. I must be blessed by fortune. At this moment, I lay contentedly on the ground, remarking, this trip to the secret realm really paid off. I'll pack up the rest and take it with me. Next, I needed to figure out how to take the remaining monster corpses out. However, when I saw the mountain-like pile of monster corpses, I was stumped. If I have to take these out bit by bit, it'll kill me. So, I summoned Little Cohen and asked if there were items like storage rings or storage bags in the system store, the kind with a lot of space inside. Have you been reading too many cultivation novels? That's too fantastical. However, I can create some storage space for you in the system. With that, my eyes brightened. Quick, open up a 10,000 cubic meter storage space for me first. Let's see how it goes. Man, do you think this is building blocks? I'm developing a new function in the system, which consumes a lot of effort, time, and energy, Little Cohen said, dissatisfied. Hearing this, I immediately understood its meaning. You're just a profit seeker. Just tell me how many evolution points you need. Little Cohen held up a finger, proudly saying, building 100 cubic meter space would take about 10 million evolution points. Damn, why don't you just rob me? As you like, I can't be bothered with it anyway. Reluctantly, I gritted my teeth and spent 20 million evolution points to open up a 200 cubic meter storage space. I worked my ass off fighting monsters, barely saved up less than 30 million evolution points, and you just made 20 million by moving your lips. 5 minutes later, System Koi ran over excitedly. Dear host, the space has been successfully opened for you. That fast? Didn't you say it needed a lot of effort, time, and energy? Time is life, and I follow the principle of saving life for the host, hence I provided the most efficient service. Little Cohen said earnestly. I don't believe you for a second. You scheming System Cohen. I shook his head in disbelief. At that moment, Little Cohen quickly changed the subject and demonstrated how to store all the monster corpses. He took out a magic wand, pointed at the mountainous pile of monster corpses, and said with a smile, watch closely. Host, system storage space activated. As soon as the words fell, a ring rippling with waves appeared. The ring slowly moved towards the monsters, and in the blink of an eye, as it passed, the monsters were all sucked into the space. How about that? Host, this is the storage space I specially crafted for you, Little Cohen said proudly. Seeing this, I exclaimed, awesome, Little Cohen, you didn't just disintegrate them, did you? Those are the monsters I hunted hunted with great effort. Upon hearing this, little Quinn pointed again, and the monsters that had disappeared instantly fell out of the space. Impressive, available on demand, truly convenient and fast. Then, I turned and walked towards the dense forest, intending to gather some firewood to go out for a barbecue. Shortly after, I returned to the entrance of the secret realm. Ancient Ape was overjoyed to see me back, while Deathlark couldn't help but complain. You know to come back, making me wait here so long. Hurry up and report what happened inside. Hearing this, I walked to an open space and suggested, let's eat and talk. With a snap of his fingers, a large number of monster corpses fell from the storage space. Seeing this, Deathlark and Ancient Ape were astounded. Then, as I roasted the monster meat, I recounted the situation inside. It was like stepping into a red otherworld. In just a short time, I encountered so many giant beasts. I suspect that the red otherworld is much larger than Abyss Island. Envy might have escaped, but I believe it won't be long before the agents of the Nether Sin Palace come looking for us. Just one envy nearly wiped us out. If all of the 7 deadly sins come, we won't stand a chance. At that time, the entire Abyss Island might be slaughtered by them. The purple light screen can block all external energies, so this will be our best refuge. I plan to bring all the monsters willing to follow us on Abyss Island into the secret realm to avoid the crisis from the Nether Sin Palace. If I'm right, you guys can try to enter the secret realm now. If it fails, we'll have no choice but to fight them head on. After a full meal, Ancient Ape immediately got up and walked towards the light screen. I ate the most. Let me try first. Her hand passed through the light screen without any hindrance. Dragon brother, I can enter the light screen too, she exclaimed excitedly. However, Wolverine, even in human form, was still unable to enter. At this time, Deathlark, who had already entered the barrier, mocked. See, I told you to turn back into the giant wolf form and eat more. It's your own fault for not listening. You stupid wolf. Serves you right for not being able to get in. Wolverine, surprisingly, did not argue with Deathlark this time, but seriously said, it seems that the barrier determines the proportion of secret realm energy condensed in my body based on my giant wolf form. Even if my body becomes smaller, the energy I've absorbed shouldn't be less. Ape Sister and Bird Sister being able to enter confirms our initial guess was right. Next, we need to gather the monsters willing to follow us, so they too can gain the energy to enter the secret realm. As for the herbivorous monsters, we can only try to bring plants out from inside and see if they can condense secret realm energy in their bodies. Wolf brother, go gather all our kin. Bird sister, you bring all your subordinates too, and bring along any monsters on the way that are willing to follow, as they can be the first batch to enter the secret realm. Ape sister and I will use this time to go back in and hunt some more monsters, and clean up the dangers around the secret realm cave. After assigning tasks, Deathlark carried Wolverine to gather more of their kin, while Ancient Ape and I headed deeper into the secret realm. Come on, Ape sister, our hunt begins. At this moment, Ancient Ape looked up at the red sky and land, filled with awe. Ape sister, it won't be long before this place becomes our territory. We have to conquer it bit by bit. How about it? Do you feel the energy continuously flowing into your body now? Hearing this, Ancient Ape carefully felt it and indeed found a steady flow of energy entering her body. This energy is the same as that released by the king of the dead rotten reptiles. As long as we stay in the secret realm, even if we do nothing, our strength will gradually increase. Having said that, I led the way deeper into the secret realm. Through battle and feeding, we can accelerate the absorption of this energy, speeding up our strength enhancement. Let's go. Ape sister, I'll take you hunting. However, after we searched the area, we surprisingly didn't find a single monster. It's strange. Before, I was immediately attacked by giants when I arrived here. How come I don't see any now? Just as we were about to continue searching, Ancient Ape suddenly noticed something. On the ground ahead, there were many traces of large monsters' activities. I recognized these footprints immediately. They were from a Tyrannosaurus Rex. This guy's footprints are so much bigger than mine. He must be at least 100 meters tall. Little Quinn says I have the bloodline of the Kui dragon, but my physique looks more like that of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I've been on Abyss Island so long and haven't encountered a single Tyrannosaurus Rex. Suddenly, I'm really looking forward to it. At that moment, a rustling sound came from afar. The system indicated that these were 2 ancient stegosaurs, 80 meters long and weighing 85 tons, with hard bony plates and spiked tails, boasting formidable defense. These are stegosaurs, just like those feathered dinosaurs. Really strange. Ancient Ape immediately shouted excitedly, Dragon brother, take a break. I'll handle these too. With that, she charged directly towards the ancient stegosaurs. Simultaneously, the stegosaurs also sped towards her. Just as they were about to collide, one stegosaur suddenly slammed on the brakes and swung its tail at Ancient Ape. Ancient Ape jumped, dodging the attack while simultaneously swinging her fist down on one stegosaur. With a boom, the stegosaur was struck by Ancient Ape's mighty punch before it could react. Just as she was about to attack again, Stegosaur charged at her furiously. Ancient Ape scoffed and raised her arms to guard. However, with a loud bang, she was sent flying. At that moment, the other Stegosaur seized the opportunity, swinging its spiked tail and launching a sneak attack on Ancient Ape from behind. Seeing this, I yelled, Ape sister, watch out. But the next second, Ancient Ape suddenly turned around and grabbed Stegosaur Stegosaur's tail. She sneered, "Little thing, you dare sneak attack me? You're not using your chance well." With that, she forcefully lifted the Stegosaur, spun around, and slammed it into the other Stegosaur. With a thud, the Stegosaur was sent flying like a baseball. Then, Ancient Ape continued spinning with the other Stegosaur in her grasp, and with a swoosh, she threw it at the other Stegosaur. Just as the Stegosaur was getting up and not yet steady, a boom sound followed as it made close contact with the other Stegosaur again, and both were smashed into the dense forest. At this moment, Ancient Ape looked proudly at the two monsters she had easily handled. I came forward and praised. "Not bad, Ape sister, you're really taking after me. How's your arm?" No problem, Ancient Ape said, waving her hand. While we were talking, suddenly numerous eyes glowing red appeared in the dense forest, making gurgling sounds. Hearing this, Ancient Ape was startled. "Dragon brother, what's that sound? It can't be that those two guys are still alive, can it?" Before she could finish her sentence, several larger monsters slowly emerged from the dense forest. The ancient Stegosaurs walked out of the forest. Their reinforcements had arrived. I excitedly said, "Here comes the food." The Stegosaurs roared and charged at me and her. 6 Stegosaurs. You can't handle them alone. Let's do this together. With that, Ancient Ape and I fearlessly engaged in battle. The confrontation was fierce, and the atmosphere on the battlefield became tense instantly. Just then, I charged into the group of Stegosaurs, using my dragon fin slash to instantly split one of the ancient Stegosaurs in half, accompanied by a loud noise, intensifying the fight. I adjusted my stance and launched another attack, and the Stegosaurs fell one after another. Ancient Ape was not to be outdone, swinging her fists and sending several Stegosaurs flying. In a short time, we ended the battle in a dominating fashion. However, just as I was summoning Little Kuin to collect the spoils of war, suddenly, the ground began to shake violently. Ancient Ape, feeling uneasy, warned, "Dragon brother, be careful. This tremor, it seems like a bigger monster is coming." I turned my head and saw, in the distance, a massive figure gradually approaching with an imposing aura. Another dark shadow emerged from the dense forest, and when Ancient Ape and I clearly saw the appearance of the shadow, we were stunned in place. The system alert followed immediately. Ancient Tyrannosaurus. Height, 110 meters. Weight, 116 tons. Strong physique, very high scale armor defense, incredible biting power, strong tail, and hind limbs. Damn, this Tyrannosaurus is even wearing a fur coat. My worldview is completely shattered. Ancient Ape looked at Godzilla and then at the Tyrannosaurus and couldn't help saying, "Dragon brother, it looks a lot like you. Is it a relative of yours?" "No, I don't have any rich relatives who wear fur coats." I shook my head in denial. As we were talking, the Tyrannosaurus suddenly let out a deafening roar. "Dare to roar at me? Let's roar back." Not to be outdone, I roared back at the Tyrannosaurus along with Ancient Ape. Provoked, the Tyrannosaurus became enraged and charged at us. I warned, "This guy is a lot bigger than us. We need to be careful." Just as I finished speaking, the Tyrannosaurus rushed over at an astonishing speed. Ancient Ape and I quickly sidestepped to dodge the deadly charge. Immediately after, I swiftly used my dragon tail whip, attempting to knock down the Tyrannosaurus. Simple-minded fool, go down. However, the next second, my usually unstoppable dragon tail whip had no effect. The Tyrannosaurus was too large, and my attack hardly hurt it. Seeing this, I gave an embarrassed smile. "Buddy, you're pretty sturdy." At that moment, the Tyrannosaurus looked down at me as if I were a mere ant. Then, the Tyrannosaurus swung its tail and sent me flying. I landed on the ground, disbelief on my face. Damn, this gap is too big. Before I could recover, the Tyrannosaurus opened its huge mouth and pounced towards me. In this critical moment, Ancient Ape acted swiftly, grabbing the Tyrannosaurus's tail and pulling back with all her strength. "Big dummy, stay away from my dragon brother," Ancient Ape shouted. The Tyrannosaurus looked back at Ancient Ape with annoyance, then flicked its tail and sent her flying. Seeing Ancient Ape being bullied, I got thoroughly angry. I stood up abruptly, activated my dragon supreme power, and charged at full strength towards the Tyrannosaurus. With a loud bang, I fiercely slammed into the Tyrannosaurus, but this only made the Tyrannosaurus step back a few paces. Grinding my teeth in frustration, "This guy is too freakish." My full-strength dragon supreme power only made it step back a few paces. However, I wasn't really expecting that strike to send the Tyrannosaurus flying. My real goal was close combat. Saying this, I leapt up and bit into the Tyrannosaurus, but this bite didn't even tear off the skin. The Tyrannosaurus's skin was too thick, and I could only leave a few tooth marks. I refuse to believe I can't tear off a piece. I gritted my teeth and decisively used the burst bite skill, frantically attacking the Tyrannosaurus. System notification: you have successfully devoured the ancient Tyrannosaurus, gaining plus 33,000 evolution points. Just as I was still attacking, the pain-stricken Tyrannosaurus furiously swung its forelimbs and swatted me away. Damn, I used to get hundreds of thousands of evolution points for each bite of a giant beast. Now it's only tens of thousands. Looks like I didn't tear off enough flesh. Saying this, I charged at the Tyrannosaurus again. If one bite doesn't work, then I'll take several more bites. I'm the ancestor of biting. Seeing that this move was effective on the Tyrannosaurus, unwilling to give up, I used burst bite again and furiously tore at the recently injured spot on the Tyrannosaurus. Under my fierce attack, the Tyrannosaurus was forced to step back, completely enraged. It let out a deafening roar carnivore suddenly bit me, swung its head, and flung me away. Just as I was about to get up and counterattack, the Tyrannosaurus had already rapidly approached me and stomped down hard. Damn, how is this guy so fast? The next second, with a boom, the Tyrannosaurus's foot solidly stomped on me, instantly making me feel like my internal organs were about to burst. Looking down at his prey crushed underfoot, the Tyrannosaurus looked down at me like a king. Then, it bit into me, lifting me up, ready to enjoy its lunch. Due to the massive force of the previous stomp, I was completely unable to move. At that moment, I could only watch helplessly, utterly powerless to resist. As the Tyrannosaurus continued to exert force, its teeth sank deeper into my body, and blood gushed out. Seeing this, Ancient Ape angrily pounced on the Tyrannosaurus's back, riding on it and relentlessly attacking, trying to make the Tyrannosaurus let go of me. However, her punches on the Tyrannosaurus's body were almost ineffective, instead causing the Tyrannosaurus to bite even harder. Just then, Ancient Ape clenched her fist and smashed it hard into the vulnerable eyes of the Tyrannosaurus. With a bang, the Tyrannosaurus finally screamed in pain and let go of me. It turned its head angrily to look at Ancient Ape, then spotted its direction and started to run. Seeing this, I exclaimed in shock, "Ape sister, jump down. This guy is going to crash into the mountain." But just as I finished speaking, the Tyrannosaurus suddenly turned around and slammed Ancient Ape hard against the rock wall. With a bang, Ancient Ape was smashed against the rock wall, spitting out a mouthful of blood and then collapsing to the ground, powerless and out of combat. At that moment, the Tyrannosaurus opened its huge mouth and bit down toward Ancient Ape, who was unable to move and could only watch helplessly. Just in the nick of time, I fired my most powerful burst breath at the Tyrannosaurus. The unsuspecting Tyrannosaurus was hit directly, and the intense energy blast sent it flying. Then, with a loud crash, the Tyrannosaurus was blasted into the dense forest. Seeing this, I quickly went over to help Ancient Ape up. "Ape sister, are you alright? I didn't expect this Tyrannosaurus to be so tough." "Dragon brother, I'm okay." Ancient Ape managed a weak smile. "Is that guy defeated?" "It's not over yet. It got hit by my burst breath, but it wasn't completely destroyed, probably just blasted away." However, just as I finished speaking, a furious roar came from the depths of the forest. At the same time, the creatures deep in the forest also started looking in their direction. Just then, a loud noise came, and a large tree was flung from the forest. Then, several more trees were uprooted and flew towards Ancient Ape and I. I quickly pulled Ancient Ape to the side, dodging the flying trees. Following that, the Tyrannosaurus emerged from the forest, carrying a large tree in its mouth and flinging it hard toward me and Ancient Ape. Seeing this, I raised my hand and smashed the tree into pieces. This guy actually knows how to use tree trunks as weapons. Just as I stepped forward and smashed the tree trunk into pieces, the Tyrannosaurus opened its mouth and lunged at the injured Ancient Ape nearby. Seeing this, I quickly used Thunder Spiked Armor and Dragon Supreme Path, slamming into the Tyrannosaurus. The Tyrannosaurus, seeing the situation was bad, immediately turned around and with a bang, clashed head-on with me. Due to the size difference, I was knocked back several meters. Then, the Tyrannosaurus charged up to me and bit into my arm. Seeing that my spines and electricity did no damage to the Tyrannosaurus, I also bit into the Tyrannosaurus's arm. The two giants, unwilling to give up, began a primal brawl, their struggle echoing throughout the dense forest, heard by distant creatures. After a fierce battle, I was eventually overpowered by the Tyrannosaurus and once again pinned to the ground. Just then, Ancient Ape picked up a nearby tree trunk and smashed it hard at the Tyrannosaurus. However, the trunk shattered into countless pieces on impact, still doing no damage to it. Because Ancient Ape exerted too much force, she inadvertently exposed herself in front of the Tyrannosaurus. Seeing this, the Tyrannosaurus bit into Ancient Ape's arm and started shaking its head wildly, trying to tear off her arm. The excruciating pain caused Ancient Ape to scream terribly. Seeing this, I frantically rammed the Tyrannosaurus with my spines, trying to save Ancient Ape, but no matter what I did, the Tyrannosaurus wouldn't let go. Hearing Ancient Ape's screams of agony, my rage was fully ignited. My mouth began to emit red steam, and then I transformed all my body's energy into scorching magma, decisively activating my once daily lava form. The terrifying heat instantly set the forest ablaze, even melting the rocks into liquid. Seeing this, Ancient Ape immediately thought of Godzilla about to explode earlier and hurriedly shouted, "Dragon brother, what are you doing? Don't do anything foolish." Feeling the intense heat, the Tyrannosaurus was also startled. Just then, I activated my Lava Claws skill and pounced towards the Tyrannosaurus. Let go of Ape's sister. With a swoosh, the Lava Claws easily dismembered the Tyrannosaurus's arm, as simply as a hot knife through tofu. The immense pain made the Tyrannosaurus scream and finally let go of Ancient Ape. Then it quickly retreated, trying to distance itself from me. But when it looked at me again, it was shocked. The latter was already gathering energy in my mouth. "Taste my lava form's burst breath," I shouted, and then unleashed the lava version of my burst breath at the Tyrannosaurus. The scorching energy hit the Tyrannosaurus instantly and continued to fly into the distance. With a booming sound, the burst breath exploded, completely melting the upper half of the Tyrannosaurus, leaving nothing but a deep trench in its wake. Seeing all this, Ancient Ape was shocked. It melted everything. That move is too powerful. At that moment, I quickly ran over. I asked how how Ancient Ape's arm was, but just as my hand was about to touch her, Ancient Ape's fur suddenly caught fire. Seeing this, Ancient Ape hurriedly patted out the flames and quickly retreated, increasing the distance between herself and me. Dragon brother, don't come closer. Your temperature is too high. I'm afraid I'll get burnt to death before I get bitten to death. Hearing this, I looked at my body and said awkwardly, oh, I forgot I'm in lava form. I'll revert it now. So, under my control, my magma-like skin color gradually faded and I returned to my normal appearance. However, at that moment, I felt a wave of weakness and was extremely tired. My legs were barely able to lift, as if my body had been hollowed out. Though the lava form is immensely powerful, this way of fighting is somewhat wasteful of energy. Afterward, I bought several life fruits from the shop for me and Ancient Ape. Ape sister, recover your strength quickly. The noise just now was too loud. It's likely to attract other secret realm giants. At that moment, Ancient Ape curiously asked, Dragon brother, was that a new move you used? How come I've never seen you use it before? Yeah, how about it? Pretty impressive, right? Impressive, indeed. I didn't expect you to handle the Tyrannosaurus so quickly. But the next second, Ancient Ape said with a disappointed face, you, bird sister, and brother wolf all know so many moves, while I, other than being strong, can't do anything else. Hearing this, I immediately encouraged her. There's a saying, one strength can subdue 10 skills, meaning a person with great strength can defeat 10 skilled martial artists. In the face of absolute power, all schemes are useless. Your strength is your advantage. Don't worry, Ape sister, I will definitely help you find the right techniques to fully utilize your strength. Then, I asked Little Kuan, do you have any skills in your shop suitable for Ape sister? Little Kuan thought for a moment before replying, savage apes are not like you. She's more like a human, while you guys are not. How am I not human? Who are you calling not human? Little Kuan explained, well, savage apes have hands and feet and physically resemble humans, whereas your claws are too short and function differently. Deathlark has no forelimbs, and Wolverine in his giant wolf form also has only 4 paws, without flexible fingers. Thus, among you, only the savage ape can use various tools and weapons, and with her strength, she can definitely handle heavy weapons. You mean to turn Ape sister into a giant ape version of Rambo? Don't worry about it. I will find the most suitable weapon for the savage ape. However, while we were talking, a rumbling sound suddenly came from a distance, and the ground began to tremble. What's going on? Is another giant beast coming? Soon, a large number of ancient giant lizards rushed out of the dense forest. Seeing this, I rolled up my sleeves, ready to fight. Ape sister, here comes another delivery of food. But just then, I saw a large number of ancient stegosaurs following the lizards, and scythe dragons also appeared. Even more surprising was that behind these secret realm giants, a huge shadow of another ancient Tyrannosaurus was rushing towards them. How can so many secret realm giants appear at the same time? And that big guy in the back, why is it another ancient Tyrannosaurus? And this one seems even stronger than the last. This isn't just a group of giant beasts, it's a tide of giant beasts. Dragon brother, what should we do? Should we fight them again? With so many giant beasts, even if we call over bird sister and brother wolf, we won't be able to beat them. Ape sister, a wise man does not eat the loss before his eyes. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Thus, Ancient Ape and I turned and started to run frantically, with a large number of secret realm creatures hot on their heels. But just then, a group of about a dozen stegosaurs suddenly appeared in front of us, blocking our way. They dare block my path. Ape sister, let's break through together. So, Ancient Ape and I jointly attacked the stegosaurs in front of us, intending to quickly eliminate these obstacles. But this delay immediately slowed us down. When I looked back, I saw the giant beasts were about to catch up. As I was collecting the defeated stegosaurs into the storage space, I called to Ancient Ape, Ape sister, you run first. I'll hold off the giant beasts behind us. Dragon brother, be careful. Ancient Ape said worriedly, don't worry, I'll be right there. After speaking, I fired dozens of explosive bombs at the approaching tide of giant beasts. Accompanied by roaring explosions, the group of beasts was engulfed in a sea of fire. After doing all this, I immediately ran after Ancient Ape. Ape sister, hurry, I don't think I can hold these guys off for long.